I have finally mulched my garden beds, and so I used some Pennington premium longleaf pine straw that I bought from Tractor Supply. So this is the end result of my new tester bed. If you remember those fence panels that I had got for free on the side of the road, I turned them into my new tester bed. And so, being that you have to be concerned about chemicals and stuff like that, I lined them with some contractor trash bags and filled them because of the large size. Of course, I didn't want to fill it with just soil and my amendments. So, I first filled it with some branches, and then I had some of my um, collard greens that had gone to seed, and they were super tall, and I had pulled them out of the garden beds and into the compost bin. And so I filled them with some of that because it would have taken a while to break down anyway. And then I filled the bed with some Miracle Grow all-purpose garden soil, as you see there. I also filled it with some mushroom compost. The reason I got the Miracle Grow all-purpose is because it was on sale at Lowe's for a buy three get three free. And so I'm trying to be budget friendly here, even with my tester garden. So I have directly sown some sunflowers in this row and this row here. Zinnias have been directly sown here as well as here. And then here I directly sowed some cosmos. And here are some of the snapdragons that were growing on the inside. And so I transplanted them out. And this is a little yarrow here that has been growing. So as you can see, I mulched my ranunculus beds. And then if we go inside of the garden, I mulched my tomato beds. So right now we just have the tomato seedlings as well as the garlic and some marigolds. These are my tomatillas and peppers as well as snapdragons. Then here's another tomato bed with some peppers, marigolds, and some garlic. Here is a collard green plant that has gone to seed, and my goal is to try to save some of these seeds, so we'll see. And then over here, finally mulched my strawberry tower, and I'm having so much more success than when the strawberry tower was in my other location. We're already getting strawberries, and the reason I really needed to mulch this bed is because, as you can see here with this one, it was touching the strawberries that were coming in were touching the soil, and so that was contributing to the strawberries staying moist and breaking down. So as you can see, we have some, and this is, you can see the result of the strawberries being in direct contact with the soil. And then see these other strawberries, and then this is a strawberry tower here. This is our blueberry plant, and we'll have some blueberries soon. I transplanted my curly kale and some parsley because they were on the inside. They were not happy. Herb garden. So some rosemary did germinate, but nothing else thus far. So I did just sprinkle some more seeds, and we'll see what happens. Calendula will be blossoming soon. This is some old lavender. My other pepper plant that was transplanted, and it seems to be doing good. This one didn't do as well. This one I have hope for. So this is going to be primarily a pepper bed. Marigolds, because I have 3 different varieties of peppers. This will eventually become where I plan to try and grow watermelon, but we'll see. I may change my mind with that. Right now, we just still have the bachelor buttons here, so we can still have some pops of blue in the garden. Over here, we still have some garlic, and then we have some little cucumber seedlings that were transplanted. So we'll see how they do, because I have some more growing on the inside. And then my pansies, they have been really hit by the heat. My scarlet runner bean is still doing pretty good, but we'll see how it does. Another thing that I did that I forgot to mention before putting the pine straw was that I did amend my beds with this mushroom, black velvet mushroom compost. It was on sale. I looked at the reviews, and so received some really good, well, not received, but saw some reviews with it. So we'll just see what happens. You know, over here we learn as we grow. So everything just looks so good right now with the mulch. One of the reasons I wanted to go ahead and mulch was because I noticed that my garden beds were drying out, and I was concerned about how that would impact my seedlings. I also mulched my blackberry bush, and it's looking good. Survived through the winter, and we should be having some blackberries at some point. So we'll see what happens with those. See that? And then my daughter, she has her little garden area over here. She is learning as she grows. So she has some moonflowers. So we'll see what happens with that. She has some petunias. And then we have some more petunias over here. So that's the latest update on what's happening in the garden. And then stay tuned for more information on that Seed to Bloom series, because that's going to take place with that new garden bed over there. What I plan to do is I plan to transplant some of the zinnias and sunflowers that I am growing from seed in the house into these beds here, so they can be the companion plants. But I want to compare them to the ones that are directly seeded outside, because I haven't had any success with directly seeding zinnias, sunflowers, and cosmos from seed outside. So stay tuned for that update, and as always, we will chat with you soon. Bye. Follow up to the last video. So I ended up buying 2 packages of this Pennington pine straw. And as you can see, I still have some left in there. And at Tractor Supply, it was $16.99 per package. And so as you can see, I was able to fill this bed, this here, all 4 of my 2 feet by 4 feet beds, in addition to my herb garden area, my blueberry plant, strawberry plant, snapdragons, and some of the other little plants around here. So I only needed 1 bag. So if this is something that you're considering, just consider the size of my garden and just providing you with some, I don't know, guidance of how many bags you may need to buy. Again, it was the Pennington pine straw. Got it from Tractor Supply. $16.99 for this bag. Let's see. And it tells you how much it covers on the package. And I found it in the mulch section if you go there and you're looking for it. All right, that's the official end of this update. Chat soon.